So today we are going to benchmark PS exclusive game Returnal, which got released in 2020 I guess for PS5. Now it is available in PC as well. So for the benchmark we have here RTX 3060 Ti. All the detailed specs you can see here. Also we are using the driver version is 528.49 as you can see. Also the memory sticks are two memory sticks we are using of 3200 megahertz. It is XPG 16 GB kit. Also CPU is i3 12100F and GPU I already told you. Also the SSD is PCI Gen 3. It is also the motherboard is Asus Prime B660 M-A. So this Mobo supports PCIe Gen 4 NVMe, but I don't have it right now, so we are going to stick to Gen 3 as of now. So let's get into the game and test it. So here we are in the game. We are going to test it on 1080p first. It have like 4 presets. We are going to try all 4 of them on 1080p. So it changes everything if I change the preset except the radius shadow and radius reflection. As you can see, it will stay on medium as it is, so we have to change it manually every time. So everything is on low right now. So yeah, everything is on low. VSync is off so it doesn't cap the FPS. Also I removed the FPS cap. So let's run the benchmark. I like how this game does benchmark. Like it will benchmark each and every stuff in the game, like lighting and shadows. It will give you the complete breakdown in which portion or which thing is consuming the most CPU and most CPU. Also this game is not CPU bound, as in the entire benchmark you will see it, CPU usage won't go that much up. This game is totally GPU bound. So this game is using like 9 gigs of RAM, nearly 9 gigs of RAM. So on 12 GB of RAM you can run this game, but it is not recommended. Obviously now the norm is 16 gigs of RAM. Also VRAM it is consuming is 4 gigs of VRAM. So I guess on 4 GB GPU you will have like kind of issues running this game on even on low settings. If you turn ray tracing off, we set it on low, so you can run this on 4 gigs of VRAM GPU like FRX 470 or 570 or whatever, or 1060 3GB. So our target is to stay above 60 FPS. So we are well above 60 FPS, and I guess you can run this game on 1440p staying above 60 FPS easily. But right now we are just testing 1080p. Also it is drawing like 200 plus watts of power. I really want to undervolt it so it consumes less power and lower down the temperature, but right now for the purpose of benchmark we are just running it on stock. So here is the complete breakdown of everything. As you can see, it used just 6% of the CPU. This game is not CPU bound. All it used like GPU from start to finish, it used GPU, and all the breakdowns it doesn't like use the CPU. Also the benchmark breakdown is really good. Like here you can see the driver version, here you can see operating system and all this the stuff. Preset we are using the 1080p, we are using native 1080p, so it is 100%. So yeah, FPS average is 94 FPS, which is well above 60. So we can further increase the graphics settings. So yeah, max we went to 183, which is pretty good, I guess. So let's move forward without wasting any time. So the next is medium, so let's turn this to medium too. So everything is set on medium now. As you can see, ray tracing is also set on medium. So let's benchmark. I don't know why this game gives better FPS on medium preset. Like I bet it will give like more stable and good performance on medium preset than low. I don't know why. I ran the benchmark couple of times, like twice or thrice, to check if I am doing something wrong, but I am not doing something wrong. It's just game how the preset is predefined presets are. You won't see any drop in FPS from low to medium, so I don't see a point of playing it on low. So now it is using 4.7 gigs of VRAM. Previously it was like 4.5 gigs, I guess. I don't remember correctly. RAM usage is still the same. VRAM usage is somewhat same. Power draw is also somewhat same. Core clock is on 1875, which is also somewhat same than low. Also the temps are kinda same too. So I don't see a point of playing this game on low setting on this CPU. As the benchmark results I am saying, I think you will get 60 above FPS even on epic T-side on 1080p at least. On 1440p I guess until medium or high you will get it. Okay, so here is the breakdown. Same average FPS, kinda same. Previously it was 94 average FPS we were getting, so now it is -2. So we are getting like 92 average FPS. So somewhat similar performance. 2 FPS is not like much of a difference, won't make much of a difference. So it is somewhat same. Also CPU usage is down by 1%, GPU usage is same. So yeah, let's move forward. I didn't see any stutters or anything like that, so the game is pretty much stable until now. So let's increase the settings more further up. So the next we have is high. Okay, PC hardware is below the recommended for testing. Okay, no, we want to max it out, so don't give me warning. So yeah, everything is on high. Even ray tracing, retrace shadows, reflection is all is on high. So let's run the benchmark without wasting any time. So I can see the better reflections on the statue, like ray trace reflections. I can feel like also now mem it is using like VRAM it is using is above 5 gigs of VRAM it is using. So from now on you would need like nearly 6 gigs of VRAM GPU VRAM available to play this game on this settings on this preset. Previously it was 4.5, now additional 1 GB it is using on high preset. Also, RAM is the same, core clock is also somewhat same. Memory clock stays the same on 7001. until I change it. When I undervolt it, I increase the memory clock to overclock the memory and underclock the core clock to don't let it draw much of the power. So as you can see, it is drawing above 200 watt of power, which is not required to get this performance. So undervolt is recommended, but most of the people don't undervolt or do anything with their GPU because of fear or something. They prefer to run it on stock. Okay, so here is the breakdown. Now you can see the massive drop in FPS, like from 92 to 75, like minus 17 drop of FPS. Also CPU just increased 1%. I don't get this minus 1%, as it was like 97, now it is 98, so it is kind of weird. So yeah, FPS is minus 17, so 75 FPS we got. Here volumetric fog, here FPS decreased, like in volumetric fog and animation particles. The max FPS we got in lightning and shadow and mesh complexity. Okay, so yeah, 75 FPS still above 60, so let's further push it up to epic and see how much FPS we get on epic. So it is now on epic. Let's turn this to epic 2. Yeah, I want max out performance. So yeah, as you can see, everything is on epic, even ray trace shadows and ray trace reflections. So let's run the benchmark. Lightning and shadows, here we were getting like above 100 like previously, I guess. We hit 58 here, 57, so yeah, we are dropping under 60. But let's see what average FPS we will get. Like we will focus on average FPS. Also now it is using like 6.9 gigs of VRAM, 6.6, like above 6.5 gigs of VRAM. So now on you will need like 8 gigs of VRAM GPU, like 3060 Ti or above, like 12 gigs of VRAM to run this game on epic preset with everything on maxed out on 1080p. So I guess you can run it on 1440p pretty easily on this rig. RAM usage is still the same. It is not consuming much of the CPU and RAM. It is just consuming GPU. It is showing whatever power required from the GPU only. Core clock is 1375, still the same. Temps are going little up above 70, which is not an issue, as undervolt will solve this problem. Also the repasting and repadding can also easily solve this problem, but I prefer to undervolt. It is too much of work to open the GPU and repaste it and repad it every now and then. So yeah, now still we are above 68. Previously we were on 75, so minus 7 FPS. So yeah, it's still no stutters or anything, still above 68. So even on epic setting like maxed out ray tracing and maxed out everything, you can play this game easily on 1080p. So yeah, I guess you got the idea.